Honor is in the heart.
As we wait for the release of Yone, and especially his version in the event, so we can cover all the Spirit Blossom stories, we finally have a chance to get back onto the rest of the lore. And since I'd like to stay around Ionia to complement the ongoing event, we should have a look at the latest story about Rakan and Xayah. However, before we dive into this one, we quickly need to recap their bios, because both Xayah and Rakan got some minor tweaks in their stories. So without further ado, let's quickly have a look at those bios. Xayah comes from the Lothland tribe of the island of Quailin. Long time ago, that place was full of magic, which gave the Lothland tribe immense power. But over time, as more and more humans traveled to Ionia, the local Vastaya started negotiating with them, accepting them into their community, and even breeding with them, which resulted in the tribes distancing themselves from the primordial magical essence of the First Land, which is a fancy old word for Ionia. But later, as humans started building their cities and castles in Ionia, some Vastaya got annoyed, and they started fighting back. Of course, Xayah is one of them, and she wasn't alone. There was enough annoyed Vastaya to kickstart a rebellion that started wiping out entire human strongholds. Meanwhile, Rakan was born during the decline of the Lothland tribe. Like everyone else, he watched humans slowly pollute their magical lands. But instead of fighting them directly, as a battle dancer, he believed the better way would be to show people how beautiful their magic was, with the help of either songs or dances. Perhaps then humans would realize how great Ionia used to be. And so Rakan started performing wherever he could. But no matter how many dances and songs he performed, he started feeling useless, because he realized he was just an entertainment to all the drunk humans. But this all changed when he performed in Volonko, where Xayah was looking for a lost artifact. When the two met the first time, Xayah saw Rakan as nothing but a buffoon, especially after Rakan tried to charm her a couple of times. But when Xayah explained what she and her group was doing, she was surprised to see how much Rakan agreed with her, and how much he was mad at the humans too. In fact, to Rakan, joining Xayah's rebellion would finally give him purpose. And so Xayah accepted him to the rebellion. Rakan became the perfect distraction for her stealth skills, and soon the two even developed feelings for each other. Years later, after the Noxian invasion, Ionians formed groups that were far more aggressive and dangerous, such as the Navori Brotherhood or the Hated Order of Shadow. But because of these groups, more and more Vastaya are starting to hate humans, which only helped Xayah and Rakan recruit more forces. This was just a super TLDR version of their newly updated bios. The only thing that's really new are their motivations for hating humans. Xayah hates humans because her father used to sing to her about the glory days of the great Vastayan heroes, while these days all the Vastaya do is form alliances with the humans, wait for the alliances to get broken, and then let humans have more territory. And Rakan hates humans just as much, but instead of stabbing them in the heart, he's willing to give them a chance and show them what they are missing out on. But now, with their past recap, let's dive into their newest story, which I will also shorten because it is quite long, called The Face of Shadow Cave. The story begins with Xayah dodging bullets that came at her from a nearby temple. Xayah knew humans called their weapons Kashuri rifles, which is a name you may recognize from Jin's story, because it was the Kashuri armory that gave Jin his gun. Thankfully, Xayah was too fast to get hit, and while she ran around, her tribesmen already climbed the ancient temple and reached what it guarded, a Quinlon. It was a circle of 5 massive rocks, orbiting around each other, floating in the sky. It served as a great ward, which contained ancient enchantments, which held back and limited the natural magic of their land. From the Quinlon's greystone hung a dozen ropes, attached to spikes of the past.
I will not forget who I am. The road to ruin is shorter than you think. Historic.
Slain. Down.
Clear as day. The sword's poor company.
Has been slain.
My honor left a long time ago. I will follow this path until the end. Feeling you. It's not yet time to die. Is a leaf's only purpose to fall? Clear as day. Eyes open. The sword will company for a long road. Clear as day.
An ally
No
has
one
been slain.
promised tomorrow. One step clear as day. The wanderer isn't always lost. The road to ruin is short. I'm in gold.
I don't think she's playing above her level whatsoever. I think that is her level, or specifically, it is her intuitive level. That's like what happens if you just play, express your best self.
An ally has been slain.
Swords poor company for a long road. Honor is in the heart.
Slain. Enemy double kill.
Giddy up. Just looking for a road home. Eyes open. Justice. That's a pretty word. This story is not yet finished.